Start with VO, 3 of them, and then we'll have our weather sod out to look at the White House. 10. Stand by in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Next, on the news at 4, breaking news in Landover, Maryland. Police say a man was shot while driving along Martin Luther King Jr. Highway. What we know about the investigation at this hour. Plus, a stepfather is behind bars after officers say he shot and killed his son. The shocking details from investigators on why they believe he committed the crime. And changes could be coming to your metro commute. We'll break down the proposed updates to improve service across the DMV.
WUSA9 Weather Impact is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
The news at 4 begins with your weather impact forecast. Skies are partly cloudy. It's dry out there right now. A little bit of sunshine.
Push, and then we'll be in boxes.
You can see over the White House.
Stand by Scott Boom, stand by Caitlin. Don't
tracking rain moving into the region. Thank you for joining us on WUSA 9 and streaming on WUSA 9 Plus. I'm Simone Diallo.
Back out a little, please.
Tonight we have team coverage on your forecast.
Beautiful.
Our Scott Boom is live in Laurel, Maryland, with what drought watchers are hoping for after this much-needed rain. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Caitlin McGrath. She's tracking a round of heavy rain that's going to move in later tonight. And Caitlin, then much colder temperatures that will follow.
Yeah, that's right, Simone. The rain this evening certainly won't be a drought buster, but we will take all that we can get. And the rain will be briefly heavy for a period later tonight. It's all because of this strong cold
Did she say what graphic she wanted to flip on?
Across the Great Lakes that we'll see some heavier
Hopefully
rain
she does 7 day, because I'll probably just flip on that.
Right now, Doppler radar is still scanning dry skies across our area. Really no issues for the evening commute. If you are in parts of far western Maryland, Garrett County, you're already starting to see some of that rain. I even saw a crack of lightning as well. This is a pretty dynamic storm system, and we've been saying for days now we could see a few rumbles of thunder later on tonight. So we'll time out the changes here using Futurecast, starting with the next few hours. Again, not much change, so that's great news as the kids are getting home from their after-school sports, as you're heading home for your evening commute. But this is 6 o'clock tonight. We will be tracking some of that heavier rain inching closer to the I-81 corridor by 8, 9 o'clock. You're seeing the heavy rain in Loudoun County, Fairfax, Frederick, Montgomery County. This is 9 p.m. That heavy line of showers and downpours is already pushing along the I-95 corridor. And then by the time you check in with Topper at 11 o'clock tonight, he will still have some moderate to occasionally heavy rain on the map, but it's going to move out of here really quickly overnight. The wind is going to pick up. The strongest wind will be right after that cold front sweeps through around 10, 11 o'clock tonight. And then by tomorrow morning, sunshine is back. Temperatures will be sharply colder, and it is going to be very breezy, and that wind is going to stick around. So here's what we're tracking over the next few days. We'll still have spotty showers, even a few flurries in the forecast Thursday into Friday. Both days look mainly dry. If I had to pick, I would say Friday's your better chance to see a scattered shower, maybe a flurry or two. Temperatures drop in a big way, and that wind is going to stick around through Sunday. But as we mentioned, this is rain
Stand by Scott Broom in box.
Those drought watchers are hoping the storm brings that rain to help replenish our dry region. Environmental impact reporter Scott Broom is live at Rocky Gorge Reservoir near Laurel, Maryland, with more.
Scott's live. Caitlin's
dramatically dry, and I brought you
He'll be back in boxes next with Simone after his package. Or Scott, rather.
They've drawn down this reservoir because they're doing some maintenance work, but the drought is making it a little more difficult for them to have the water to refill this reservoir, which has to happen this winter and spring as the season unfolds. That's when reservoirs get filled after these dry periods. This, of course, the most remarkably dry period in a very long time. Caitlin, you know that we set a record back earlier this month, 35 straight days, a record without any rainfall at all. That ended on November.
Make sure he knows he's tossing back to Simone afterwards. Yeah.
Utility managers told me today it's going to take a seasonal change.
So it'll be
you said, Caitlin, not just
a minute 30. This is like a little mini pack.
The Metropolitan Council of Governments drought watch in the region be lifted simply because it's been so dry for so long. Water managers in the region say winter and early spring are the time of year when groundwater and dry soil get recharged for the upcoming year. So they're hoping this incoming storm means change. They're watching it carefully, hoping for a return to normal. Here's some of my conversation with Mike Nardalilli, the executive director of the Interstate Commission on the Potomac River Basin.
All right, so
we can sustain a lot of
minute 30
dry months, but we really do need the rain. Our groundwater wells that are throughout the basin show that it's abnormally low right now.
Out Q, then
so,
we'll get
we
a
need to have
deluge,
recharge,
and we'll head back to
in
Scott,
time
and then in
for
boxes.
the beginning of the season, the spring and the summer.
Water managers throughout the region seem to become more and more acutely concerned about what's going on long term. Help us understand that.
Well, basically, it boils down to climate change. We have a lot of models that have predicted that the Potomac River Basin
45.
is going to be wetter and hotter over time, and that's a good thing for water supply. However, the models also show us that variability is going to be increasing over time. So
30.
the wet years will be wetter and the dry years will be drier, so that we will have more substantial droughts, and we will have more flooding. And instead of having a nice even flow of rainfall
15.
in the basin, we'll have these periods when it will go without rain for a long period of time, and then we'll get a deluge. Water will come all at once
Yeah,
and,
he wanted to do a
and
package. I
flow
was like,
away and not seep into the ground.
Alright, back live.
Mike's point with me was that the system has to have some
Out to
resiliency
Simone
built into it
and
if
Scott
making
in
these
boxes
reservoirs
next.
that much more important. So the incoming storm, important news for
Then we'll
water
have a
managers. They're
little
hoping
weather
it
tag and be
signals
back
some
on it,
seasonal
I see.
change. They really need to recharge the system over the winter and into
gonna
the spring.
float
And
your
before we
teeth
go, I
into
do
this
want to
one.
mention the burn ban, the outdoor burn ban is still in effect in Maryland. The Department of Natural Resources here in this state has imposed the burn ban. They do not expect this incoming storm
Readers.
is going to result in a lift of the ban, just like the water managers.
Okay,
They feel like we need to get back to much more consistent weather rainfall as we do as we get into the winter season.
Good catch
before
there,
that
thank
burn
you.
ban's going to be lifted. So the incoming storm, not the end of our problems there either. At least that's the prediction right now. Reporting live at Rocky Gorge Reservoir, Scott from WUSA 9. Simone, back to you.
Certainly appreciate the update there and the perspective. Scott, thank you. Look, now's a great time to download our free WUSA 9 app to stay up to date with the forecast. It has live interactive radar.
Animation out to
It's
tall
really
box
helpful
next.
to track the rain as it moves through your neighborhood. You can scan the QR code on your screen. Don't forget to turn on push notifications. That way you won't miss any breaking news or weather impact alerts. We are following breaking news in Prince George's County. Officers say a man was shot while driving along Martin Luther King Jr. Highway. It's near Sheriff Road in Landover. Sky 9 flew over the scene just about 45 minutes ago. Thankfully, we're told the man is in stable condition
One cam
and
next,
is expected to
and then a
recover
VO.
from his injuries. At this hour, police do not have a suspect in custody. You can expect delays in the area while police investigate. We're also following breaking news out of Charlottesville, Virginia. A former University of Virginia student pleads guilty 2 hours ago for killing 3 football players and injuring 2 students. You might remember the shooting happened on campus 2 years ago. Police say Christopher
I can't
Jones
believe
Jr.
this was 2 years
opened
ago.
fire
That's
on a
wild to
charter
me.
bus. This happened after he and other students arrived back on campus from a dinner in D.C. Today, Jones pleaded guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder. His 4-day sentencing hearing is scheduled to begin February 4th, and of course, we will bring you the very latest right here on WUSA 9 and online at WUSA9.com. Tonight in Charles County, Maryland, a man is in custody after the sheriff's office says he shot and killed his 15-year-old
Alright, VO
stepson.
next, and then into a
Authorities say the man
package.
was upset
Package
because
will be
the
110.
teenager wouldn't complete household chores. This is video from Sky 9 of the scene of the shooting along Hunt Road in La Plata. Our Leslie Moreno has the very latest from investigators.
Tonight, the Charles County Sheriff's Office says a 15-year-old is dead and his stepfather is behind bars.
Yikes.
Mixable is not working. The Mixable channel is not working. It's not changing. And I also took the next story.
Officials say 48-year-old Darshawn Williams shot and killed his 15-year-old stepson, Michael
Hey, she
Clemens,
went ahead
after
and killed
he
live
during their
users. It's
metro
not
package,
working
you can
to
go to
see
the
it.
next
And
one.
dot to the right camera, the
that
202.
suggests that the stepfather shot the victim because the victim didn't complete the chores as he was requested to do.
Officials say police found the teen unresponsive inside
Alright,
their home in the
this is
6400
110.
block
We're
of
40
Hunt Road
seconds in.
just after midnight. Neighbors tell us the teen and his mom had just moved in after the couple married. It's unclear how many times or where the teen was shot.
He was unconscious and not breathing. The officers
OTS
and
right
medics
coming up.
performed CPR, but the victim was pronounced deceased on the scene.
Williams is being charged with second-degree murder and first-degree assault. He's currently being held at the Charles County Detention Center in Charles County.
Stand by.
Liza Moreno, WUSA 9.
Mike.
Leslie, thank you. We are tracking Metro this afternoon. Right now, WMATA is proposing
Yep.
updates that could impact your commute. They're looking to speed up
Package
trains on the
next
red and the
will
silver
be
lines to help
1:30.
accommodate more people. Jess Arnold has a breakdown on what this could look like.
This super peak train schedule would increase train frequency from 5 to 4 minutes during the busiest periods. And I know that may not sound like a lot, but that adds up to 2 extra trains an hour, which could really make a difference for commuters on these lines. Now it's 2 lines, again, red line and silver line. With the red line, it would increase that frequency.
No, I think it's good
Trains running
actually. Yeah.
the entire line
All
in
good.
both directions. For the silver
Thanks,
line, it's
Henry.
being proposed only for the quote-unquote core stations between Stadium Armory and Wheelie, and only in one direction, eastbound in the morning and westbound in the afternoon. As part of the service changes, WMATA is also
We'll
looking
have
to
a VO
split
out
the
to
eastern end
Metro
of the silver line
changes,
to
and
keep
then
half
we'll
of the
do
eastbound trains heading
teases.
to downtown
She just has the
Barker,
one
as they
202
currently do, but then
Maryland
sending the
cameras
other
since
half
everything else is kind of
that's
frozen
split
up
at
today.
Stadium Armory to head to New Carrollton. Metro
So
says
it'll be
downtown
BAM,
Largo and New Carrollton have
202,
similar ridership, so this
and
would
then
help
back to
even
drive
out service
times.
and connect New Carrollton Station to Amtrak Mark and eventually the Purple Line. Now, one more change I want to mention is extending
30.
half of the Yellow Line trains all the way up to Greenbelt instead
Nope,
of stopping
40,
them
sorry.
all at Mount Vernon Square as they do now. Now, one of the biggest questions when we talk about changes like
30.
this is how much is this going to cost, especially when WMATA has been reporting a budget shortfall all year. They say in this budget proposal that we've seen that it would actually cost nothing extra, and that is thanks to efficiencies
15.
achieved through rail automation and train length optimization. Now, the board is meeting to discuss all of this tomorrow.
Stand
so
by.
I have to have an update for you.
5.
After that, in Northwest DC, Jess Arnold, WUSA 9.
Mike.
Keep us posted, Jess. Thank you.
She's good.
Another major heads up for Metro commuters. A month from today, major maintenance projects will begin on the blue, orange, and silver lines. They will run from December 20th until the 30th. Several stations will be
Alright,
closed
teases
during
next.
this time, but
Caitlin's
free shuttle
dead.
buses will be
So it'll
provided.
be
We do
VO,
have the full
out
list
to
of
the
closures
band.
on WUSA9.com. Well, still to come, it is Dallas week. Up next, Chick explains why one of the biggest storylines this week has to do with the 2 head coaches. And the evening commute just getting underway as we track traffic across the DMV. No major issues to tell you about. There was an accident. I did want to mention the Beltway
So
interloop
just
near
202
Kenilworth
coming
Avenue.
up, and then we'll be back out to
the
drive
right side
times
is
to
blocked
break.
in that, but overall, I mean, you're seeing your typical slowdowns. Let's take you to Maryland, the Beltway 202 in Prince George's County. Pretty early here to be seeing congestion
Check
like
times.
that. So I would bear this in mind. If your loved one takes either one of these routes home, I would have them hit the road as soon as possible because this is probably just going to get worse. Let's get a look at your drive times before we head to break. Okay, we're not in the red yet, but as you can see, it is slow and go around the DMV. We'll be back after the break.
Break. Alright,
Nice
2:15 and
luck,
break.
guys.
Great job, everyone.